What's up, my friends? Welcome back to Lou 52 RC. Got the Max out here. Gonna try a little speed test on the pavement. Did it in the dirt last week, and you know, did okay. But now I'm very curious as to what it can do on the street, because I got 53 miles an hour out of it on dirt, which I thought was decent. Make sure I'm tracking all right here. Yeah, doing pretty good. Good enough. But I brought the sledge out here and got 66 miles an hour on the pavement. So when I took it out to the same dirt spot, I was only able to get 54 out of it. So I'm thinking with the conditions, the dirt, whatnot, it was kind of a limiting factor. So I'm starting to think maybe this thing can probably get somewhere in that ballpark in the 60s too, but we'll see. That's not real exact science type math, but yeah, we'll see if it'll do it without lifting up. I didn't change anything fluid wise in this. Whoa. Yeah, it was pulling a little bit there. Okay, we gotta fix our trim up, I think. That was... yeah, see if we can just get a little more centered. Yeah, that was not tracking great for me there. Yeah, it's fighting me. It's like the faster I go, the more it wants to pull to the left. I'm wondering if it's a tire issue or something, because going straight, it's fine. Oh, hang on, that's... like if one of the tires is maybe swelling worse than the others. Because as soon as I get on it, it really starts tugging to the left there. I'll try it over here a little more. Yeah, I think I got a tire that swells up more than the other ones, and that's why it's pulling, because as soon as the front end gets down, it'll track straight, but when it's getting light, see, it just sits there pulling off to the left, and I have to fight it the entire time. I did bring some other tires to test with it though, in case something like this happened. I brought some 6S backflips out, so I've also got the Notorious out here, so I'm gonna test that out, because man, I didn't even get up to, I would doubt if I was anywhere near 50 miles an hour on any of those, because it was just getting so pulley. Yeah, 51, not great. I can go faster on dirt with it. So I mean, I might have an arm that's a little bent or something like that too, but I'm gonna get the tires swapped over and see if maybe that'll fix it. So let's find out. All right guys, we're back. We got the 6S backflips put on. I just want to make sure it's a tire issue, or like I said, if I've got an arm that's kind of tweaked and bent, you know, that'll pull to one side and do whatever. So we'll get it out here and give it a shot again. Let's go to track and start. There we go. That way I don't forget to start it before I try a speed run. Now these tires will offer better rollout for high speed, but they also cause higher center of gravity and ground clearance, which will allow more air under the truck, which is not going to help for lift whatsoever. So we'll just try it out. That's why we come out and test stuff out, just see what'll happen. There we go, saved it. All right guys, so I made up some makeshift limiter straps for the front to suck the front end down. Hopefully I got them reasonably even, or it's not going to track very straight. I literally used a highly scientific method of zip ties. So we're gonna find out. This is the kind of fun stuff I like doing, just messing around. So what I did was I took a few zip ties and I hooked them to the outside of the front A-arms where the C-hub is, and then inside the chassis above the shock tower, put a couple zip ties in a loop and then a couple that kind of held them together and just kind of cranked them down. I have no idea how this thing's going to handle, so we're going to find out together. Well, I was able to get higher in the throttle range than I was before. I was getting close to full throttle. So, do another pass on the way back. Woo! That was about 3/4 and I was getting a little greedy. I was trying to hammer it down so I could just at least hit full throttle once, but that was not the way to do it. Try again. Almost full throttle. Almost. And that's the end of that battery pack. Or I'm hitting thermal, which I doubt, because it's only 50 something degrees out here. Now if it was thermal, it would have just shut off, but let's see what that did. I'm confident we got at least 65. Stop and read. 73 miles an hour, boys. The Traxxas Maxx with my 6S system, 73. That is now the fastest I've gotten any of mine so far. And that was not quite full throttle, but it was close enough. I think maybe 75 would be the limit for this one. That's running 6S backflip tires. They are not meant for speed. I am super happy with that. I'm gonna save that one, save the photos. So while I got you here, I'll kind of show you my limiting strap setup. Roast me in the comments if you like. So you can see I use zip ties. Just kind of put them up around the towers. Tried to get the arms as even as possible. You can see I was dragging a little bit there, but yeah, so it pulled that front end down. And that's the only change I made from my normal configuration. If you have one of these analyzers, there's a free 3D print file for this little cover. It's awesome because it lets you zip tie it to just about anywhere without having to use a bunch of double-sided tape. So yeah, I'll go over I'll put at the end of the video just kind of fully what I've got done to this thing. I've probably done it already. But yeah, that was awesome. That was a good day. So thanks for watching, and if you like it, hit like, share, subscribe, you know, ring the bell. Oh man, I was losing a hinge pin there. Oh, screw popped out and so did the cover. I'm pretty sure it was probably when I hit the curb it probably popped off, but that sucks. Now I gotta get that. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you next time. Just got done doing the speed run with this little beast, and as you saw in the video, 73 miles an hour. Not too bad for a Traxxas Maxx. So I just wanted to quickly go over what I've got done to this one, because it is definitely not stock. So for the power system, I'm running the Spectrum 2050 kV motor with the Spectrum 150 amp ESC. These are both just the stock system out of the Creighton 6S and the notorious 6S. Picked them up off Jenny's RC. It was inexpensive. Never mind the electrical tape. That's just to keep my fan from sliding around because the mount I have it on moves a lot. So I just taped it there because when I'm jumping and stuff, it kept moving around and going through fans like they're going out of style. I've got the M2C Racing motor mount. If you have a Max, you understand that, you know, your spur gears don't last very long in these things, especially after you've had them for a little bit, because the chassis do flex, they're meant to, but as you flex them enough times, they start flexing easier and easier. You start losing that mesh and going through gears. So the M2C system, it's unique to everybody else's, and I haven't been through a spur gear or a pinion gear since I put it on. Running that though, you do have to run pretty tall gearing. You have to run at least a 26 tooth pinion gear. So that's what I'm running in this one, is the 26. And then the stock 50 tooth, I think it is, might be 52. Correct me if I'm wrong. On the spur gear. So for speed wise, that's how it gets to where it's at now. For the rest of the stuff, I've got battery strap set up because the stock holder, I kept breaking it. I've got the logo's hidden, but that T-bar is the Traxxas TRX upgrade one. Running the Trio bell crank on it and steering setup. We've got a Reefs 422 HD servo. Overkill for a servo, but I already had it in one of my crawlers when the stock servo died in this, so I just robbed it out of there. I'll probably end up putting in a cheaper Power Hobby or something like that. Handling wise, MTC ZRS shock system. These are the rear springs from the Maxx. I moved them to the front, and then I put the stock sledge rear springs in the back here because I went with heavier springs on my sledge. I've also got the Trio C-hubs, still running plastic on the actual knuckle. The C-hubs, if you've ever had one of these, you know they'll flex, they'll pop out, and you're constantly having to put everything back together. Running MTC Racing drive cups and monster axles. They're holding up great. Running the hardened hinge pins from Traxxas, but as you can see there, I lost one of the caps off of it in the screw during that speed run, so I'm glad it didn't fall out because it was about halfway out when I brought it back to the truck. Also got MTC Racing plus 10mm universal hexes. That's so I can run the Arma tires and wheels because they have like a zero offset where the Traxxas ones have a negative offset. Other than that, underneath, we're all stock plastic, everything in the back. Of course, got those monster axles and drive cups. And I think that's about it. I got the ESC plate from MTC Racing as well. And other than that, it's just a Maxx. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, she's a little speed demon. I'm curious to see what I can get it to fully topped out. Honestly, I think maybe another couple miles an hour. Might hit 75. But either way, I was pretty happy with how it turned out today. So just want to do a quick recap of what's on it. Thanks.